Afternoon, this is our presentation of an RFID system that will text students that are absent or absent students. So it is using a MySQL database on a web host, and it is using Ethernet shield to communicate with that web host and an Ethernet cable which is connected to the internet. It has a GSM to text the parents of the students who are still absent, an RFID reader who are going to read our RFID cards. This is using RDM6300, that is a low frequency RFID card. We have an LCD that shows the steps, instructions, and notifications, and a simple active buzzer for identification or notification if it's already read the card, or and notification for you can hear if the card is not, what is, how we say, there are notifications for unrecognized card and recognized card. They have different beeps. And of course, it is powered by a two outputs power bank, one for the Arduino and another for the external power supply of this SIM900A. So from our last video, we have registered to the database. We have enrolled, as if enrolled to the school, these 7 cards that are placed here, and we didn't enroll these 3 cards. So therefore, these cards must be recognized by the systems because they are registered on the database, and then these cards must not be recognized by the system and will be deemed unrecognized entry. And then the same thing, if you place a card and then it reach, let's say for example 8 a.m. This system is purposely it should be used on a school which has a schedule of like fixed entry and exit. So we have to power this Ethernet cable, Ethernet shield, and Arduino with a 5-volt supply. At the same time, this GSM with the 5-volt supply. So what I will do today is to have an introduction or demonstration of the system, of this entry and exit prototype. So we just need to power it up. It will enter its setup state. Setup state is where the Ethernet will set up its network to the internet, Ethernet cable shield I mean, and for the GSM to initialize its connection to the network for texting. So it will take time for the initialization, but it will still go through. And then after initialization, we go to the operation state. Operation state is where the student will say for example, if a student will go inside the school, they will swipe their cards, okay, and then they will be recognized by the system. Actually the process is something like this. The RFID cards will be read by this RFID reader, will be read by the Arduino, and will be sent towards the MySQL database using a PHP code. So also using a PHP script, those numbers will be compared to the database and check if there is an enrolled, or there is a result, or using MySQL query, if there is a match in the database. If there are no match on the database, the system will reply that the card is recognized. If there is a match, the system or the web host will reply the name of the student. So for now, I will swipe these 4 cards, 1 2 3 4. Let's say they have gone to school. So let's check the LCD. Okay. Welcome. That means it's a registered student. It says welcome. Let's say all of these cards are registered, okay, including that one which I just swiped earlier. So let's say this one. Okay, welcome. That means he is also registered. We'll also swipe this one. Okay, the same, it's a registered student. And then I will swipe this one, number 4. Okay, so there are also cards that is not registered to the database, or shall we say is not enrolled to the school. So let's try to check if what will happen. Okay, it will say unrecognized entry and 3 beeps for that one. Okay, same thing with this one. This is still unregistered. Another thing for this one. So that is for the operation state. So we have 7 registered cards. I just swipe 4. That means this 4 is already inside the school. And then I didn't register this one to the database. Maybe they are not enrolled yet or anything, any situation possible. So this 3 is registered or enrolled to the school but did not come to school. Okay. So there is this another state. We have the operation state. The other one is what's so-called notification state. So this number 10 is my card, or the card that where my name is connected. It is the cell phone number or the contact number of this card registered to this card is the one that I use to take the video. This card is registered to this cell phone number, and then this card number 6 is registered to this cell phone number. So what the system does is, if you press this button, it will go to the notification state and will check the database for the students that are absent. So for those students that are absent, an SMS will be sent towards their phone. Let's say this one, this will send an SMS to this one, the name of the student, as well as will text the number that the student is absent. So basically you will be giving the number or the cell phone number of your parents. Okay, the same thing with this one. Okay, and this is mine card. So I'll try to press this one. Okay, it will go to notification state, and then it will now query the database for those students who is still not inside the class or still not found in the database of present student. So it will take some time, but I hope you hear that message tone. So that is mine. Okay, and then let's wait for these 2. So sending this message takes time, but when it will take like how many minutes to send for 20 students. So you can see the Ardina J Hajihil 3 is absent as of 8 a.m. So, and then it will text this one. Okay, so let's wait. So it has some delays for messaging, but okay, 9 message received. Let me check if this is the owner of this number. Okay, that's the message. Hardin J Hajil 5 is absent as of 8 a.m. So if you want to check the database why the names are all the same, because when you check the registered students database, basically those are the numbers those are the cards that are registered. You can see 7, and then the one that is absent is entry number 1, number 3, and number 5, I think. So you can have as much as many thousands of cards. Okay, let's say for example in a high school, when it reach 8 a.m, all of these cards that are absent, how many, even if there's 200 of them, okay, starting 8 a.m, no more entry or no more operation state whatsoever without excuses. So all of those absent cards will be text, or their parents will be text, or will be informed that they are absent as of 8 a.m. So thank you very much for listening. This is RFID system with Jason.